After our heart-to-heart last night, I think that we're making progress.
Yeah, it's very good.
And I think you'll come around.
I don't think so.
What is your resistance
Resistance? What do you mean?
to like seeing me happy?
Oh my God.
Good
Is he
question.
here?
Yes.
So Bill Burr was the guest on the latest episode of TigerBelly, but before he turned up, Bobby Lee wanted to get something off his chest. He'd finally met Khalyla's new boyfriend, and apparently he wanted to share the experience with all of their listeners. This was definitely weird, so I'm going to break it down for all of you and give you all the relevant context, because for me, I actually think Bobby Lee is in the wrong here, and even though I personally can't stand Khalyla for reasons I'll explain later, I think she dodged a bullet by moving on from Bobby, or so it seems. In my opinion, Bobby Lee has serious psychological problems that he needs to deal with, and the fact that he is so openly sharing all of this information is proof within itself that he suffers from some sort of narcissistic disorder. Don't worry though, I'm not just throwing accusations around, I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So all of this started back in 2022 when Bobby and Khalyla mutually agreed to break up after a 10-year relationship. They had originally decided to keep it quiet and not go public with it, but thanks to Joe Rogan's degenerate protege, Brendan Schaub, they were forced to come out and tell everyone what had happened. But I'm going to start with what happened on the latest episode of TigerBelly and work my way back to their breakup so that you can make up your own mind who is to blame for all of this. I also want to say just quickly that I don't hate Bobby Lee. I think he can be pretty funny on podcasts. I don't really rate him as a stand-up comedian, but he definitely has a likable persona, so I definitely understand why he has so many fans. I'll pick this up towards the end, but one of the important things I've come to learn about him is that I don't think he knows where the jokes start and finish, and you'll see this through a few of the clips that I'm going to play for you.
Last night, I went to Khalyla's house, but then
Yeah.
I was in Austin, Texas. And then
We had our weekly heart-to-heart.
last night we had a weekly heart-to-heart. And then, well, I mean, because of betrayal, but we're not going to talk about that.
Oh, man.
We can talk about it a little, just not to the extent that you want to talk
How
about
about
it.
light details?
So I'll tell you this. Betrayal. This fucking Game of Thrones betrayal, dude. I'm lonely. I'm in Austin. I was scrolling alone in the fucking hotel room, and I come across a friend, a family member. You have to understand, for the 10 years I was dating Khalyla, I was embedded into the family. All the holidays, the whole family together. I mean, you're talking about 30 people in a photo, games, fellowship, love, the whole thing.
Yeah.
I zoom in and I see behind Khalyla. First of all, she's holding a baby.
Yeah,
Who the whose baby is that?
Gardo's daughter.
Oh yeah, beautiful. And then behind her is a brown, gigantic head. I mean, just a brown. I thought it was a fucking
Ghost?
no.
Brown?
No.
Brown?
The brown?
The brown
You've seen
ghost?
brown ghosts before?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a blur almost, like a smudge. And I zoom even more, and it's the guy she's seeing. And he's smiling. And you know what the smile says? I'm the new in town. I'm replacing. You know what I mean? I'm the rookie. And I'm the old guy on the team. I'm getting out. The contract's not re-signed. Right? This is my last season. And I'm out. This guy's just like in. And I called a couple of people from your family going, I'm still in the team and I'm gonna work my way back in.
Whoa, that analogy.
You
What
were
does that
never
mean?
ousted.
Yes, I'm out.
You were invited
last
to this
season,
thing.
dude. Last season of the team, dude.
No, here,
I'm the old guy.
Can I just say that not only was he invited to this thing, but he refuses to meet my new guy, and
Oh, I met him.
You didn't. You didn't. You patted him on the back in the dark and then ran away.
Well, so this is how I met this guy.
So Bobby's clearly got issues with Khalyla moving on, even though he admits that their breakup 2 years ago was his fault because he couldn't satisfy her and give her what she wanted. But then he had the opportunity to meet her new boyfriend and he turned into a complete child.
I invite him to, well, I didn't invite you, invite him to, we were in Hawaii, and I did a show with Segura, 8,000 seats. Right? I go bring him to this. I go up.
Crushed. He thought you were incredible.
And I snuck out, right? I went into the stadium.
Yeah.
And I sat right behind him in a stadium after I crushed. I pat him in the shoulder. He looks up to me and I went like that. What does that mean when I do that?
I don't even know.
Yeah. Listen,
Is that a
I go,
Oh, I see you.
oh, that's good.
I see you.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Very good. But it's even more. There's more meaning
The
behind that
deeper
look.
meaning.
Yeah, so tap.
Okay, so he's obviously trying to turn this into a joke and embellish the story to make himself sound good because Khalyla jumped straight in and explained what really happened, and then Bobby ended up getting saved by Bill Burr.
Honestly, it wasn't even a tap. He is so exaggerating. He went in there terrified. He went in and out 6 times. He's like, I don't want to do it. I'm
Let her
scared.
finish.
I don't want to do it. I'm nervous.
Oh my
Let her
God.
finish. Let her finish.
Oh my God. You're
finish.
so mad.
Khalyla, continue.
And you're like, no. I feel jealous. And you went in and out 5 times. And I was like, Bobby, just go in there and say hi. And you're like, okay, I'm going to
Is
do
that
it.
him?
I'm going to do it. And so he finally did it.
Yeah.
And that's not the read that I got. I just thought that you weren't ready. And that's fine.
I'm
It's
always
fine.
ready, baby.
And is that
Anyway, let me just say, let's
you texted me at 4:30 in the morning with a zoomed in screenshot of the family photo with a message underneath that said, I see everything.
which is true. I see it all.
I haven't been keeping this a secret from you. After our heart to heart last night, I think that we're making progress.
Yeah, it's very good.
And I think you'll come around.
I don't think so.
I believe in you.
It may be. We'll see.
We'll see.
Here's
What is your resistance
resistance. What do you mean?
to seeing me happy?
Oh my God.
good
Is he
question.
here?
Yeah, so Bill Burr walks in and saved us all from that train wreck of a conversation. But as much as I dislike Khalyla, I actually think she was right. Bobby is the one who seems to be hanging on to their relationship, even though he never really wanted to be in a relationship with her in the first place. And this is the thing. Almost everyone is on Bobby's side. When all of this went down, Joe Rogan even had a slight dig at Khalyla on his podcast with Red Band.
He's just a good dude. I'm happy to see him happy.
Yeah, me too.
And I bet his DMs are filled with bomb digging.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of girls want to take up where Khalyla left off. Let me show you some next level. But now they also realize they could get famous if they're Bobby Lee's girlfriend. There's probably a lot of those girls.
It's so dangerous nowadays.
So it's got to duck them. You got to know which one's a sociopath.
Yeah.
Which one's pretending they like you. And which one just really likes funny guys.
So clearly Rogan's of the opinion that Bobby was unhappy being in a relationship with Khalyla, which even Bobby admits is true, but she definitely received a disproportionate amount of hate for their breakup. Now, I said at the beginning of this video that I personally disliked her for other reasons, and it's kind of related to their breakup, but not really. I don't know if you guys remember this. I've covered it in a previous video titled, Is It Okay to Hate Brendan Schaub? And if you're wondering, the answer is definitely yes. But it was something she said on the episode that Schaub went on to clear the air that stuck with me. Amidst all the controversy going on, the physical threats to Bobby from Schaub and Brian Callen, etc., she seemed to be most interested in what Schaub had said to Rogan about her personally.
You got to remember too, Rogan's like an older brother to me. When I do anything, I call Rogan. That's how I operate.
Right.
Yeah.
I asked his advice on this, right? And then he would give me his advice how I should handle it.
When you did tell Rogan your version of events, I just want to know, for my own peace of mind, did he believe it?
I don't know. To him, it's like, you're never going to beat the internet, man. I mean,
No, regarding me and Bobby.
no, because I told him it's not you guys.
Okay, but everything else regarding the information that got back to me is that you told Rogan things, obviously, that were very slanderous about me. I want to believe that wasn't the case.
So what she was referring to was the fact that Brendan had threatened to publicly reveal that Bobby and Khalyla were in an open relationship, and it was meant to be payback for what he thought was her and Bobby posting personal things on the Fighter and the Kid subreddit. Shout out to all the homeless cats watching. And at that point in the episode, it seemed like she was most concerned about her status with Papa Rogan instead of defending her boyfriend at the time. But like I said earlier, I want to give you guys some more context around their breakup, because when you consider what we just saw on the latest episode of TigerBelly in the whole scheme of their breakup, you'll start to realize how toxic Bobby has become and how he's the one latching on to Khalyla, even though he was the one at fault for their breakup. This was 2 months after Brendan Schaub went on TigerBelly.
So
What?
let's talk.
About what?
Well, you tell me if we're allowed to talk about it.
Yeah,
but when
you're
I
good.
saw you, you said, because I had said I've never met Khalyla. I'm a fan of hers.
I want to say this, okay? 10 years ago, when I met her on Tinder, my career was in the shitter. Like I was literally about to get let go of my agency, and I wasn't bringing up any income. I wasn't getting any auditions. You know, I would see other people rise, and I was literally at a point where I was like, you know what? I got to change something about how I view my business, and not to make it like my number one thing, you know, because, you know, when you make your business your number one thing, there's just a lot of pain that goes along with that, right? And life is not about that. So I, you know, decided to pour my attention into a relationship, and I met Khalyla at the perfect time, and you know, in many ways, she's the love of my life. She reinvented my career. We started TigerBelly with nothing. We just bought equipment from Guitar Center, and we just started doing it. And this was about 8-9 years ago. And, you know, it grew, and it helped other aspects of my business. And now, like, you know, I'm selling I have a couple of shows I sold, and, you know, I have a pretty big movie I'm coming, you know, I mean, just things are happening. And I really equate that to, you know, the dedication of Khalyla in me, her investment in me and my investment in her. And she is the love of my life, and I love her dearly. And she changed me in so many different ways. That being said, we broke up. You know, I don't know if this is...
We'll hold this episode until you announce
we'll
it
announce
respectfully.
it. Yeah.
So I think a lot of people don't fully understand the history there, how TigerBelly was a joint venture between the two of them when Bobby was at rock bottom. Obviously, Khalyla saw the potential in Bobby and knew how big they could get together, and financially speaking, they've done pretty well out of it, right? She still gets accusations, though, that she's only famous because of Bobby, which is true to an extent, but it's not like she didn't invest her time and effort into both their private and professional relationships for almost a decade. However, things started to get interesting when Bobby explained exactly why they broke up and how it was basically all his fault.
It was a long, difficult decision between us, and we still live together.
That's what you said. You
Yeah, we
still
still
live together.
sleep on the same bed. We still laugh and giggle, and we're going to the Philippines soon because we're working on a project together. Yeah, I mean, nothing's really changed outside of the fact that we're not, you know, in a committed relationship as boyfriend and girlfriend. We feel good. I mean, I can only speak for myself. You know what I mean? I feel pretty good about it. It's painful. It's hard. I mean, when you're in a relationship with someone that you love that hard for 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah, but a lot of things went on, you know, and, you know, if people follow the internet, you know, and follow my story, you know, a lot went on in the last year, but it's, you know, honestly, it was mostly my fault. And I'll tell you why. I could see myself out of the relationship in terms of like giving her what she needs. You know, women, they need cuddles, they need attention, they need intimacy, they need all the, and I was not giving her anything. I was just playing video games and like watching porn all day, you know what I mean? And she would say, every day, she would cry and be like, what about me? What's going on? And I'd just be like, I'm just not, I don't know, I'm going through something. I would make some sort of excuse, you know, and in the last 2 or 3 years, we had sex maybe twice.
What?
Yeah. She's getting a lot of things on the internet, you know what I mean? And I have to take 95% of the blame, really, I think, you know? I really believe that.
From what Bobby's saying there, it seemed like he wasn't able to be the man that she wanted him to. He clearly has some addictive behaviors going on there and issues with relationships, which he really needs to sort out, right? I mean, the guy's 52 years old. But I think what most people have focused on when it comes to his relationship with Khalyla is that she allegedly slept around when she was still together with him. Now, I don't know all of those intimate details, so I can't confirm anything, but just from what Bobby was saying there, it seems like he was the one dragging the relationship down and at the same time refusing to let go of the security blanket of having someone there all the time, which is probably why they still lived together and shared the same bed. Like I said, it sounds like he's got some deep psychological issues he needs to sort out or just get used to being a loner for the rest of his life. I don't know, man. Each to their own, I guess. And we've heard so many people say that Bobby's moody and he thinks that this person or that person doesn't like him when nothing actually happened in the first place. Even Bill Burr brought it up on the podcast.
I'm sorry, dude. I was just, trying to, get the.
You always think I don't like you, and then I'm coming
oh my God, dude! I fucking love you so much. What are you talking about? I never even behave that way.
Bobby, this is our love language.
This is the way I talk normally.
And then they were talking about how they each deal with resentment and whether they hold a grudge or just move on.
Yeah, I hold on to it.
Yeah, I can't.
I don't know why. I don't know why. I just do.
That's something you do in your 20s. And then in your 30s, you start to realize like how bad it is, but you don't know how to get out of it. And hopefully you figure out in your 40s.
Yeah,
that's what happened with me.
But Bill, my thing isn't like if I'm at a party and I see that person that I have a beef or like inside he hurt me, I'm still nice. But yeah, I should let it go because I think it just, it does with my life. I just lay there in bed and just like thinking about people. I hate it. Because they don't think about it. It's wasted energy and time. I think I'm getting better at it. Do you think I'm getting better at it?
Yeah.
I think I'm getting better at it. Yeah. I'm 52.
Basically, every podcast Bobby goes on, he says the same thing. And like I already said, I don't hate Bobby Lee. I just think he's a complete psycho with narcissistic personality disorder and needs to just move on instead of dishing out his dirty laundry for the world to see every chance he gets. And then when the heat gets too bad, he'll laugh it off as a joke like he did with the Tijuana story, and everyone gives him a free pass because he's cute and seemingly harmless. But it's been 2 years since they broke up and he's still giving Khalyla grief over her new boyfriend. They really should have gone their own separate ways after they broke up, but something tells me that she's also holding on to him because without him, her audience would probably shrink to 10% of its size. So in a nutshell, my conclusion at the end of all of this is that Bobby and Khalyla have the most toxic relationship in the podcast universe, and it's not going to end well when it eventually does. Anyway, that's it from me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and if you're not a regular of this channel yet, hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you ended up enjoying this video. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.
When you first moved to LA, okay, you invited me to a Christmas party. And then since then, I've never been invited to your house again. Is there something that I did, across the line of some sort? I always feel like in my back of my head that I did something at the party, and then that's why I haven't been. Or have you not had parties at your house?
Yeah, we haven't really had parties.
Okay, that's it.
All it was.
Let's move on. I was like, oh my God, I'm in.
In what?
Bill Burr's house. Yeah, hanging out with the guy, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, years after that, I was like, oh, no more invite, huh? It's how my mind works.
No, you know what happened was I got married and had kids.